Good morning, America. As you wake up and look out your window, you might notice a chill in the air and a dusting of snow on the ground. But sometimes, that wintry scene is just the beginning of something much bigger, a weather event that can transform an ordinary day into a dramatic, unforgettable experience. When you hear nor'easter in the forecast, it's not just another snowstorm. It's a signal that a major weather system is on the move, and it's time to pay close attention to what's coming your way. It's time to pay attention. Nor'easters are notorious for their unpredictability and their ability to disrupt daily life. People across the East Coast start checking their phones for updates, stocking up on groceries, and making sure they're ready for whatever the storm might bring. A nor'easter is a powerful coastal storm named for the strong northeasterly winds it brings from the Atlantic Ocean. These winds can whip up the coastline, driving waves and snow inland, and creating hazardous conditions for anyone in their path. These storms can dump heavy snow, cause flooding, and shut down cities along the East Coast. Streets that are usually bustling with activity can become eerily quiet, blanketed in snow and ice. Coastal neighborhoods may face rising waters and dangerous winds, while inland towns brace for blizzard conditions and freezing temperatures. The one brewing for this weekend could bring significant snowfall right up the I-95 corridor, impacting millions from Philadelphia to Boston. Major highways may become impassable, flights could be delayed or canceled, and public transportation systems might grind to a halt as the storm intensifies. Nor'easters feed off the clash between cold land and warmer ocean waters, sometimes intensifying rapidly into what meteorologists call a bomb cyclone. This explosive strengthening can turn a regular winter storm into a truly extreme event, with hurricane-force winds and blinding snow. For kids, it's a snow day dream, sledding, snowball fights, and the excitement of school closures. But for city officials, emergency workers, and commuters, it's a logistical challenge. Slick roads, power outages, and the need to keep essential services running mean long hours and careful planning for many. That's why we track nor'easters so closely. They're part winter wonderland, part logistical nightmare. These storms test the resilience of communities, the preparedness of cities, and the spirit of neighbors helping neighbors. Whether you're bundling up for a snow day or bracing for the next big challenge, understanding nor'easters helps us all weather the storm together. Every nor'easter starts somewhere, and this one's journey began as a small disturbance off British Columbia. As it travels east, it picks up cold Canadian air, crucial for snow instead of rain. By the time it reaches the Ohio Valley, it organizes into a low-pressure system, ready for the main event. The real action happens when it hits the Atlantic, tapping into warm ocean moisture. If the storm hugs the coast, it can rapidly intensify and become the nor'easter we're watching for. The exact track, just a few miles east or west, will decide if cities get buried in snow or just see flurries. That's why meteorologists obsess over every move this system makes. The I-95 corridor is the East Coast's lifeline, stretching from Miami to Maine and connecting some of the nation's most densely populated cities. This vital artery supports millions of commuters, travelers, and the flow of goods every single day. But when a major winter storm threatens, the entire region braces for impact, knowing that even a few inches of snow or a layer of ice can bring this critical route to a standstill. And now, it's right in the storm's potential path. Meteorologists are tracking a powerful nor'easter, and its trajectory could mean trouble for every city along this corridor. The uncertainty of the storm's exact track leaves millions on edge, as a slight shift could dramatically change the outcome for each community. Take Philadelphia, for example. The city often finds itself on the infamous rain-snow line, a meteorological boundary where temperatures hover right around freezing. Here, a difference of just a degree or two can mean the difference between a manageable slushy mess and a paralyzing foot of heavy wet snow. For residents and city officials, this uncertainty makes planning and response especially challenging. Cleanup becomes a logistical nightmare in Philadelphia's dense neighborhoods, where narrow streets and tightly packed row homes make it difficult for plows to maneuver. Residents often have to dig out their own cars and sidewalks, and emergency vehicles can struggle to get through, raising concerns about safety and access. In New York City, the stakes are even higher. The city must clear thousands of miles of streets, keep the vast subway system running, and ensure that major airports like JFK and LaGuardia remain operational. A major storm hitting on a Monday could paralyze the city's transportation network, stranding millions of commuters and disrupting business, school, and emergency services. The city's sheer size and complexity mean that even the best-laid plans can be quickly overwhelmed by heavy snow and ice. Farther north, Boston faces its own set of challenges. Its coastal location exposes it not only to heavy snow, but also to fierce winds and the threat of coastal flooding. Nor'easters can drive ocean water inland, flooding streets and damaging property, even as snow piles up. The city's historic neighborhoods with their narrow, winding streets add another layer of difficulty for snow removal crews. Each city along the I-95 corridor has its own unique vulnerabilities, shaped by geography, infrastructure, and population density. But all of them share one thing in common: the need for massive coordination and preparation to weather a nor'easter. Emergency response teams, public works departments, and utility crews work around the clock, preparing equipment, staging resources, and communicating with the public to keep everyone safe. History has shown just how disruptive these storms can be. Boston's record-breaking winter of 2015, for example, brought more than 100 inches of snow, shutting down the city for days and costing millions in lost productivity and cleanup. These memories linger, reminding residents and officials alike of the importance of preparation and resilience. Even cities that are used to snow must prepare for the worst. Salt trucks are loaded, grocery store shelves are emptied, and neighbors check in on one another. The sense of urgency is palpable, as everyone knows how quickly conditions can deteriorate. That's why officials are already on high alert, coordinating across agencies and urging residents to stay informed and ready. In the crosshairs of a nor'easter, preparation and teamwork are the keys to keeping these great cities moving no matter what the storm may bring. Forecasting a nor'easter days in advance is tricky. Models often disagree, leading to model madness. Right now, traditional models like the GFS and Europeans suggest a weaker storm, or one that stays offshore, bringing only light snow. But new AI-based models are hinting at a much bigger event, with heavy snow right along the coast. The big question: are the AI models seeing something real, or are they overhyping the threat? The storm's behavior as it crosses the Great Lakes and its exact track off the east coast are still uncertain. A shift of just 50 miles could mean a blizzard or barely a dusting for major cities. Until the models agree, we have to prepare for all possibilities. That's why you'll keep hearing potential nor'easter in the forecast. When it comes to winter storms, there's always a range of possibilities, and this one is no exception. Let's break down the three main scenarios meteorologists are watching closely as this system develops. Each outcome depends on a delicate balance of atmospheric conditions, and even a small shift in the storm's path could mean a world of difference for millions of people along the East Coast. First, let's talk about the Blockbuster scenario. This is the one that grabs headlines and gets everyone's attention. If all the ingredients come together just right, the storm will track close to the coast, rapidly intensifying as it taps into Atlantic moisture. In this case, we're looking at a classic nor'easter, with blizzard conditions possible from Philadelphia all the way up to Boston. Snowfall totals could reach 1 to 2 feet in some areas, with howling winds, whiteout conditions, and dangerous travel. Cities could grind to a halt, schools and businesses might close, and emergency crews would be working around the clock to keep roads clear and people safe. The second scenario is a bit less dramatic, but still significant. Here, the storm is either weaker or it tracks a little farther east, just offshore. That means less moisture and less energy to work with. Instead of a paralyzing blizzard, we'd see a moderate snowfall, maybe a few inches blanketing the region. Roads would still be slick, and travel could be hazardous, especially during the morning and evening commutes. It's the kind of storm that causes plenty of headaches, but life goes on. People still head to work and school, but with extra caution and maybe a little more time spent shoveling driveways and scraping windshields. The third possibility is what forecasters call a miss. In this scenario, the storm stays well offshore, sparing the East Coast from heavy snow. Instead, the main impacts would be gusty winds and rough seas along the shoreline. It would still feel cold and blustery, but most people would just experience a typical winter day. No major disruptions, no need to break out the snow shovels, and no widespread power outages. One of the biggest wildcards in all of this is a strong high-pressure system sitting to the north. If that high holds firm, it can act like a shield, pushing the storm out to sea and keeping the worst weather away from land. But if the high weakens or shifts, the door opens for the storm to move closer and bring more significant impacts. That's why meteorologists use words like potential and possible when talking about storms like this. There's still a lot of uncertainty, and a complete miss is definitely still on the table. Forecast models are improving, but nature always has a few surprises up its sleeve. That's why it's important to stay flexible and be prepared for any outcome. Over the next 48 hours, meteorologists will be watching every new data point, every shift in the models, and every update from satellites and radar. This is the critical window when the forecast will come into sharper focus, and we'll have a much better idea of which scenario is most likely to play out. It's a tense time for forecasters, and for everyone who could be affected. So, as we wait for the picture to become clearer, the best thing you can do is stay tuned to trusted weather sources, make sure you're prepared for any possibility, and be ready to adjust your plans if needed. Whether it's a blockbuster, a moderate event, or just a glancing blow, being prepared is always the smartest move. Big storms bring back memories of past nor'easters, benchmarks that remind us why preparation matters. The Northeast has seen legendary storms, from the blizzard of '78 to Boston's relentless winter of 2015. Just last month, a major storm tested city services and personal preparedness across the region. These events show it's not always one blockbuster but sometimes a series of storms that cause the most trouble. Past storms are cautionary tales. Better to be ready for a storm that misses than caught off guard by one that hits. They teach us to respect nor'easters and take forecasts seriously. As this new storm develops, those memories should guide our actions. History has a way of repeating itself. So, let's be prepared. In the Northeast, even a few inches of snow can disrupt millions of lives. A Monday morning storm means treacherous commutes, accidents, and hours-long delays on major highways. Airports in Philly, New York, and Boston are global hubs. Just a moderate storm can cause thousands of flight cancellations, rippling across the country. Schools and businesses face tough decisions, often closing or shifting to remote work, disrupting families and the economy. The cost adds up quickly. Plowing, salt overtime, and lost productivity, even for a minor storm. In our interconnected world, there's no such thing as a small disruption. Every flake that falls in a major city can have far-reaching effects. That's why every nor'easter, big or small, matters. Now's the time to prepare, before the first snowflake falls. Check your emergency kit, flashlights, batteries, non-perishable food, water, and charged devices. If you have a generator, review safety instructions and keep it outside, away from your home. Ready your car. Check tires, wiper fluid, gas, and pack a winter kit with blankets, snacks, and a shovel. Stay off the roads if officials advise. It keeps you and emergency crews safe. Make a communication plan for your family, and check on neighbors, especially the elderly. Bring pets indoors, and make sure they have supplies. A little preparation and community spirit go a long way in any storm. As of today, the story of this potential nor'easter is still unfolding. We have competing models, a distant storm system, and a range of outcomes from blizzard to bust. The best advice: stay tuned to trusted sources as the forecast sharpens in the next 48 to 72 hours. Don't panic, but do prepare. Having a plan brings peace of mind, no matter what happens. Listen to local officials and stay off the roads if asked. Their goal is everyone's safety. Winter storms can be beautiful but dangerous. Preparation is your best defense. By staying informed and looking out for each other, we can face whatever comes with confidence. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll keep you updated every step of the way.